welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. I'm here with Lucas and Graham and Paul and Dan. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Thanks for getting up so early this morning and coming with me up here.
Early in the morning.
You're probably wondering why I've dragged you to the top of the tower of Blackwall Keep.
Yeah, why?
I'm not happy.
I wanted to pick a very clear day so that we could see. The weather's very different from when all of our heroes have been adventuring. Just at the foot of where we are. Well, sorry, but I wanted us to get up so we could get a really good view. So if you follow where I'm pointing, if you look to the south, laid out beneath us, that is the Mistmarsh. It doesn't look very threatening in this kind of weather. It looks actually really kind of pretty welcoming.
Misty. Yeah, it's a bit misty.
It does look a little bit misty, but that's the general idea. Then off to your left, if you look over, that's Mist Lake. And then behind that, what you can see over there, those are the Newell Mountains, silhouetted against the rising sun. And beyond the Newell Mountains, well, who knows? Mystery. The frog wizards of Bonds are the rulers there. So there you are. You see, I told you it would be worth coming up here. And then if we look over
to... a frog wizard?
No, I've never been over the Newell Mountains, and frankly, we don't have the budget for the travel. On the right over there,
Not laughing at
you can see past the forest. Can you see just there's a bright blue point of light on the horizon where it is still night? That is the dome of the Keep of Evenstar, the city at the edge of the world, and beyond that, the lands that wait.
Is it bigger? Is it bigger than Blackwall Keep? Because I don't know.
I appreciate that the keep is a little disappointing, but it is a good vantage point.
We're a bit squeezed up here.
And then over a little bit further over, looking further to the right, you can see a break in the forest. You can see all the agricultural land around Hooby's Point. And then if you turn round and you face, so we've got the hills behind us. You can't really see, but that ridge behind us, that piece of high ground, it's on the other side of that is Diamond Lake. That's how far we've walked out. And there we are. I thought you'd like to see the little world in which all of our action is set. Anyway, thanks.
Now?
You can go back to bed. We can get. I've got a thermos of tea, but there's only enough for me.
Now you tell us.
No, well, there we are. You should have prepared. Anyway, careful on those steps. They're a bit slippery. Let's go back down. Yes, okay. Try and be organised, people. Thanks for listening, everybody. It really helps us if you rate and review in your podcast of choice, be that Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Beyond Pod or whatever. And subscribe, of course. And without further ado, let us have episode 32, Shiny Harpy People.
Can we go back to bed?
Yeah, can we have breakfast now?
Good evening. Welcome. I'm here with Lucas and Johnny and Paul and Dan and Graham. Where we left things. Before we pick up the action, we have some questions from our listeners.
Both of them.
Well, to be honest, more than half of our readership responded when I posted an appeal on Twitter for questions to.
One of them was, why don't you stop? Please stop. Stop now.
More than half would imply
an uneven number.
At least 3.
I have to admit that the questions are a little... Anyway, let's do the first one. Is from somebody called Ed.
Yeah.
Ed's question is...
Paul knows, perhaps.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we all know all the...
Both of them. Very decent.
The magic.
He's a decent man.
Don't break the magic, Johnny.
Very decent man.
Ed's question is, are you enjoying 5e and what other game systems do you enjoy?
Well, the answer is we're enjoying 5e, but we also like Pathfinder and we also quite like Pathfinder 2.
Yes, we do, don't we?
Apart from the clerics in Pathfinder 2, which are...
Quite like Starfinder.
Starfinder's great.
Starfinder, yeah.
Starfinder's great. Shadowrun, bit of Shadows.
Yeah, Shadows is good. I actually quite like the Warhammer.
Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Yeah,
Certainly, that was a great game.
Good system.
Yeah, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay was a terrific game that we played too much of.
Yes.
Dungeon Bowl and Blood Bowl.
Oh,
well, they aren't
role-playing games.
They're not really role-playing games, but they are.
They're not really role-playing games.
Dungeon
Bowl
instead of Blood Bowl.
Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, there was a period in the...
Some decades ago.
Early 90s, where we would play like 4 nights a week.
No, but you don't actually play Traveller. All you do is generate characters.
Yeah.
Well, we do characters.
Generate characters.
Die.
They get killed.
Generate characters. You have another tour of counterinsurgency.
Yeah.
And then you join the Marines or try to get... and all of that.
Traveller was all about spending hours talking about the books. the rules in the books, but you never actually get far enough to play all those
It was
huge.
quite fun though.
dark-
I'm going from Ed's profile picture, but he's not going to know what the fuck we're talking about when we talk about Traveller. He's going to have no idea.
Traveller is a space game dating back to the
Yes, Traveller is an ancient
80s.
space game, Ed.
Yeah.
Where you spent about 2 days rolling up a character, taking this character through its entire backstory and career, and then the game would start, and the combat system was so lethal that you were lucky to survive the first 20 minutes, and that was Traveller. But it was very, very good, very atmospheric.
Yeah.
So Shadowrun we used to play an awful lot in the 90s.
Shadowrun was good.
No better game for kind of teeth-chattering automatic weapon fire
And
rolling
hand
huge handfuls of
handfuls
dice.
of dice.
Yeah, that's a great game.
RuneQuest.
Yeah.
Oh, RuneQuest,
quite
yes,
good.
like RuneQuest.
Did we
Got a
ever
nice
take to
feel to it.
RuneQuest?
We did a
Not
couple,
really,
but it
but
was
it
just
had a nice
good
feel to it.
rules.
Gamma World.
Gamma World was good.
It's not. Oh, Gamma
Oh,
World.
Gamma World, yeah.
Oh,
With the
love Gamma World.
that picture on the back of the White Dwarf with the two fat women in silver suits.
No, Johnny, that's something else. That's anyway.
No, it wasn't. It's Gamma World. Awful
One of
picture.
your magazines.
Special magazine.
I've still kept
Yeah,
it.
that's that
Top
specialist
shelf.
magazine that you get,
Won't
Johnny.
mention much more of
Top
that.
shelf.
Big fat women in silver suits.
Anyway,
Pay extra.
his question was, do we like 5e? That's partly the question. I think it's
Well, his question was, do you? Yes, we are
really
enjoying
well.
5e.
I think it's really well thought out.
I
think it's what they need to do now, though, is
Oh, God.
expand the number of classes and the options, which they're about to do, and then it'll be fine.
To give a sort of slightly more technical answer, D&D 5e is a big improvement on 4, which was a disaster. 3 was a great game. It remains to be seen. We haven't played high enough level yet because it's designed to have a longer sweet spot so that you can go up more levels and still the game is interesting. Basically,
That is true.
we used to play Pathfinder first edition, and it gets very unwieldy, particularly for the DM, where the monsters are like 3 pages of text.
Completely unwieldy.
Completely unwieldy. Pathfinder 2, we've only played a little bit. Pathfinder is a great game. I love Pathfinder, and it's much more complex, and there's a lot more you can do with it. And the combats work in a much
We're not
more sort of complicated way.
Changing.
But I like both. D&D is nice and simple.
Pathfinder 2, they've made it less widgety. There's less system mastery in Pathfinder 2 in terms of running a character, but they have left all of those options in, so you can really play a little mini game, making sure your character is kind of optimized.
And the
But
action economy.
it's still really complicated.
I love the
And
action
the
economy.
new action economy is
It's
great.
very good,
The 5e has taken the core chassis of this D20 structure,
Yeah.
the very simple D20 structure that came to us with 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, and well, this is my view, and has removed enormous amounts of the complexity that surrounded that.
Yeah.
And as a result, it's a lot quicker and easier to play. And they have managed to nevertheless keep the feel.
Yes.
Role-playing games it's very difficult, very indefinable. You can look at the maths all you like, but it's all about the feel. They've managed to keep the feel of Dungeons and Dragons alive.
Yeah.
I think it's a massively successessul thing.
I think it's
But
very
I
clever. Yeah,
I do miss some of the complexity sometimes.
Mm.
You would know it from listening to us play, because we struggle, to be honest.
Well, we struggle
with
because
the
we've played so many systems. I can't remember which rule applies to which system. That's the problem.
There's a bit of that.
Did that come from 3.5? Was that part? I can't remember.
5 foot
which
step.
system it is. Yeah.
So one thing that we
Attack of
we are
opportunity.
all used to is, well, something that we're all familiar with. Well, certainly Graham and I, is Morris and EN World,
Oh, yeah.
EN Publishing. Now they are developing a 5e advanced rule set.
Oh, really?
They really are.
Oh, that sounds cool. I mean, if they made the 5e a little more complex, I think that would be really good.
Okay, well, we're not getting very far with our game, but we're going to do the other question. Should we do the other question?
Well,
Done.
first of all, I'd just like to say, Ed, stop writing in. Thanks.
Yeah, Ed, stop
Yeah,
it.
too disruptive.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready for the next question?
Yeah, this is also from Ed.
Who's this from? Who do we know it?
It's from Smithy Mark 66 on
Okay.
Twitter. And the question is, funny past games you played in.
All of them.
What?
The one that I most remember is the dungeon that Johnny ran. It was this long
Oh.
chase.
when we ran into the classroom with the monk.
It was the slave lords, and you were in the
Slave
slave
lords.
stockade, and you
We'd snuck in, and then basically we got discovered. We were running through classrooms and changing rooms. It became a bit like Benny Hill at the end, with this sort of massive chain of people after us.
Wasn't there a harpy in that adventure?
There might have been, yeah.
Oh, it all comes back round. I think that, to me, sounds like a bit of you had to be there moment.
Yeah,
And
it was.
I think the problem with funny D&D is it's funny when you're with your mates.
Yeah, you had to be there.
It's literally situation comedy, and you have to be there. You have to be in the thingy. But sorry, Smithy Mark, thanks for listening, but I don't know that we have much of a sense of humour. Let's pick up.
I would say one thing.
Oh,
Not so much funny, but we've had some really,
that's not on the question.
Exciting sessions where the tension has been really, really good. So there was
I think we had one
the
down
session
this.
with the wagon with the nitroglycerine, where we had to get to the bridge.
Oh,
which
Dan's
we did
Malazan.
at Dan's Malazan.
Well, that was good.
Yeah, where
That's
you
very
really
good.
felt that the tension built up from the beginning.
based upon the movie Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Based upon the movie Sorcerer, yeah.
None of this is going to make any sense to Smithy Mark, especially since you didn't ask the question. But I still think that second edition Dungeons and Dragons, it might have been the age that we were when we played it. It might have been what kind of creative juices we had when we were playing it. But I remember the combats in second edition being the ones that went down to the wire the most.
Yeah.
I think it was perhaps because it was a perfect balance between the total rules absence of first edition and the superstructure that was third edition. There was just enough wiggle room in there for pretty much any outcome to be argued about and anything to be possible. Anyway, let's move on. Let's pick things up.
You might be right.
Let's pick things up with Bugraft and Parker. Where we left things, Cuthbert, intrepid Cuthbert, was creeping his way into this structure, which our heroes believe is the lair of a tribe of Lizardfolk who have captured, have raided a keep set up by the city of Evenstar on the northern edge of the Mistmarsh, the marsh in which they inhabit. They have raided that keep and captured some Evenstar soldiers, including a wizard, the wizard Marzana. Now, she is a friend of our old friend Hustad, and our heroes have set off into the marsh trying to rescue them. Now, they found a structure in the marsh, something that's clearly created. It looks like a sort of dwelling, but a large dwelling, hundreds of feet across, crafted, woven, assembled from mangaroo trees and sludge and whatever. And Cuthbert is creeping his way into that structure. Now, Bugraft and Parker were left behind, along with Burple and Sessions, but Bugraft and Parker got bored and decided to push on as well, following in the tracks of, or following in the path of Cuthbert towards this entrance. But they were not as fortunate as Cuthbert. Cuthbert was invisible. Cuthbert made some fantastic stealth checks, and he ghosted across the marsh and into the structure. Bugraft and Parker didn't do that, and they've clearly attracted the attention of some strange, enchanting and enchanted creatures
Harpies.
that Johnny is convinced are harpies.
Yes.
But there is an enchanting, alluring, enticing song issuing from their west, and they have fallen under the spell of this song. And that is where we left things.
5 saving throws.
I'd also, Mike, I think you misspoke. You said they weren't as fortunate. I'd like to say they weren't as skillful. Just a minor thing.
Paul, I was going to block my ears. The only reason I didn't was so I could hear your cries when you're in danger.
Let's
who's in danger?
So please
let's
shut it.
have
Oh, God.
initiative.
Who's rolling initiative?
Well, I'm rolling initiative, and I've rolled a 20.
Do I need to roll initiative? Does Cuthbert need to roll initiative?
A 15 plus 3, and 18 for initiative.
Okay, so 18 for Parker.
Shall we all roll initiative?
I think so, yes.
18 for Bugraft.
An 18 for Bugraft.
I got 11.
Cuthbert rolls a 4.
11 for Burple. Well, Cuthbert, yeah, okay. We'll worry about Cuthbert. We'll probably jump to Cuthbert every now and again. Sessions.
Sessions rolls a 6.
6. Okay, well, that's not disgrace with a roll of a 3, so your
Pretty
Cuthbert
crap.
will pick up in a bit.
Yeah.
The singing continues. Let's go to Parker.
Do I have to make more saving throws?
Well, we'll worry about that in a moment. First of all, Parker, you feel compelled to move towards the source of the song
Yes.
by the most direct route.
Right.
You aren't utterly possessed. You won't do anything suicidal in order to get to where you want to go, but you are obsessed with getting there.
Right.
So
So I
let's
stop.
take
You're
your-
saying I stop being stealthy and just move. Move.
That's precise. You stop being stealthy and you move. You take the dash action if you have to, in order to move towards the source of the song. The source of the song is to your northwest.
Right. So I can basically.
You can't see anything; it's so dark.
No,
but you could.
that's-
But off to the northwest, off to the right of your path,
Yeah.
and slightly behind you is where this song is coming from, and you want to move that way.
Well, I move 50 feet,
Okay, move yourself 50 feet.
but that's a single move. If you insistent, I take the.
Well, it's
move
difficult ground.
is 100.
The swamp is difficult ground, so you can only move 50 feet if you move and then take the dash action. Yes, so Parker, you pick your way through the swamp, heading off to the right of where you were intending to head off, almost actually back level with your
Yes.
companions that you left behind. And all around you, you find yourself in a sort of stand of marsh willow and mangaroo trees. And from all around you in these trees, the song is still filtering. You're going to need to give me some more saving throws.
How
Yep.
many?
Can you give me 3 saving throws? I need to see them in order, though, please.
Oh, okay. Wisdom.
Wisdom saves, yeah.
Right. First one is a 19. So that'd be
Okay,
21.
that's very good. Yeah, okay, that's very good, yeah.
Second one
Yeah.
is a 5. So that's a 7. That's not very good.
That's not very good.
It's not so good. And the third one?
The third one is a 7 for a 9. Lovely.
Okay. That's really not good. Parker, you're Parker.
Yes, milady.
Do you remember I mentioned that underneath the general current of song coming from this area, there was a lower, almost more mellifluous, more enchanting song underneath it? Yeah? You feel yourself gripped by that song, Parker, and you feel yourself unable to move.
Okay.
You feel like you've reached your natural home. You're standing there. You can imagine Parker throwing his arms out to the side. Yes, tilting his head back in bliss, looking up at the drizzling sky and feeling that he is finally home. His little glowy eyes, fritzing into the darkness.
Okay.
Let's move on to Bugraft, Bugraft has got to make 3 wisdom saving throws.
Okay.
Make your saving throws at the end of your turn, Bugraft. So first of all, you need to move in the direction of what's your move?
20. I think it's 30 actually, because I'm a light foot.
Okay, so 30. So you can move 30 feet overall because you can only move at half speed because it's difficult ground.
5, 15, 20. Okay, I'm there. Difficult ground.
Bugraft works his way to his northwest, following Parker, heading towards this stand of trees. And now, Bugraft, at the end of your turn, you've got to give me 3 saving throws. Can you do them in order because one of them is a different number?
First roll is a 15.
15. Okay, it's a good number. Second roll
is a 19.
Oh, 7 out of 19. It's a very good number. And then the third one, the
roll
all
is
important third one, is a 2. A 2.
What's a
Bugraft.
4? It's a 4.
As you arrive in this stand of trees,
Ort dice.
sloshing behind Parker, enchanted by this song, you sort of feel like, what am I doing?
Can I use my Ort dice?
Yes, you can use your Ort dice.
Wait, I'll roll it
Okay,
again,
so
and
you
that's...
roll that again, then add a d6.
Okay, so it's 12
10.
plus
12.
2, and then a
Yeah.
1d6.
Yeah, 1d6. I know what you don't want to roll.
12,
Adding a
adding a...
4, and you're
16.
okay, Bugraft.
Great.
As you sludge your way up towards this stand of trees, under the spell of this song. But as you get there, you just get a moment and you just shake your head and you think, what on earth am I doing?
And interact with an object, I'm blocking my ears.
Yeah,
I'm
I
covering
think
my
I'll
hands.
allow that.
Hands
I'll
over
allow
my
that.
ears.
Purple, you can hear this weird chorus of alluring song. What do you want to do?
Okay, what I will do is I will head west, so kind of slightly north.
You want to skirt around the northern edge of where you think the sound is coming from.
Yes, I'm thinking I can get closer by heading west and then beginning to head south.
Yeah. Sessions?
Yep, I will cast light cantrip, conceal it under my cloak, and
Yes. Squish off after Burple?
Well, I'm not really sure why Burple's going in that direction.
Well, that doesn't. Well, it's up to you what you want to do. I mean, I'll give you 3 options. You could follow Burple, which means effectively heading off to the west into the dark, with the siren song or whatever it is off to your southwest. You can head towards the siren song, or give me any kind of variation around that, or you can follow the path directly southwest, basically following Parker and Bugraft. I mean, you can go anywhere you want, but those are probably the 3 most relevant options.
How far has Burple moved?
Well, you don't know that.
I'm assuming it's a move.
It's yes. You can move your standard move with a move and the dash action because it's difficult ground.
Can I still see him with my?
Do you have dark vision?
No, but I have a light spell.
I thought you were hiding that under your cloak.
I am hiding it under my cloak.
So no, you can't see him.
Right, so he's disappeared into the dark. I can't see him. I think I'll just stay put then, following the original plan.
Fair enough. Let's Cuthbert. Let's change scenes to Cuthbert.
Right then. Cuthbert is going to move 15 foot, a quarter move, further in. There's a 3-way junction I think I can see.
Yeah, give me a perception check and a stealth check.
A perception check I will roll, and I get a 14 on the perception.
14's all right, actually. Yeah, and then give me a stealth check.
The stealth check is going to be a 19.
Okay. Stealth check is terrific. The perception check, the snoring you heard is coming from your right. So as you're heading south towards this little junction.
Come from the west.
It's coming from the west, exactly.
Okay. Well, that's my round.
Is that all you're going to do?
It's a quarter speed move.
Okay, well, that's terrific. Let's go.
Efficient. Now back to chaos and disaster.
Fast-ish, efficient-ish. Let's go back to
chaos.
No.
Indecision.
So do I get some more saving throws?
You do when your round comes up, when your turn comes up, Parker.
Which I thought
before that, bad things happen. So, Bugraft.
Yes.
From the trees around you, figures swoop down. They are
Harpies.
Please don't tell me they're harpies.
They have the upper body is like a female human. The lower body is reptilian.
What do you know?
Mermaid?
Scaly
Reptilian.
legs, clawed feet, clawed hands, knotty fingers. They're not attractive.
Go on,
I
say
can't
it.
bring my.
Say it.
It's so
They're
annoying.
harpies.
They are a creature of my own. Of my own
No, they're
creation. Yeah, they are.
26 episodes, and
They're called. They're called harples.
And he fight. Do you mean it's not brown mold?
No. Oh,
If you say the same thing
hilariously
often,
wrong. That was hilariously wrong. The whole it's brown mold, doppelgangers.
Could have been.
No, it couldn't have been.
But I'm right now, aren't I?
Yes.
Harples. They're a new creature. They're in the same area. They're in the same book where I keep all of my homebrew creatures. They're next to bear owls. They're called peahog. And
The bear owl.
annoying.
Oh, the bear owl. I miss a little bear
Well, that was bad.
baby.
Anyway.
The baby bear owl.
These creatures swoop down on you, Johnny.
Why me? I'm only a little hobbit.
Tasty.
tasty. Favourite
To be able
food.
to grab you and take you off their
Little
lair.
hobbit.
But I'm not charmed. I point to the bald-headed guy with the eyes lighting
Don't
up.
worry.
Say,
The
plenty for him.
charm guy has got enough problems as it is. From the trees, these creatures swoop on you, Bugraft. The first creature swoops down and strikes at you with its claws. Yep.
yeah.
Rolling with its attack, rolling a 7 on the dice. It's
Rolled
not
off a 15.
great. Armor class 10,
No.
and it also attacks with its club. It's got a club in one hand.
Does it have any advantage to attacking anyway?
But think about that. Thanks, Paul. Because
Whose
that's
side are you on? No, of course he doesn't.
no, I don't think so. But thanks, Paul. Thanks for pointing that out, and I'll bear that in mind later when
Your turn against me, yes, I know.
rolling. Bollocks! Rolling a 6, armor class 9. It's no good. The next one swoops down upon Bugraft. The first attack with the claws hits armor class.
Oh, he's jammy.
This is rubbish. I should have put harpies. I should have put harpies in this encounter. They're so much more lethal. And rolling.
Ooh, what a load of crap rolls.
Final one. Everything riding riding on this one. Here we go. First attack with the claws. Oh, hello. Armor class 19.
It's a hit.
Pride comes before a fall.
Constitution save. DC 35. You take the following damage. You take 8 points of damage.
8. Ouch.
And then it attacks you with its club, hitting armor class. 17.
It's a hit.
17, lovely. And the club does a d4 plus 1. It's not very much, but there we go. You never know. 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Now, let's talk Parker. Parker's in big trouble.
Sorry, can
Parker.
you just clarify whether they're flying off or they're right next to me? In which case, could you put the characters down on the battle map?
Their characters are on the battle map.
I can't see them. Any chance you could just brighten the screen a bit?
I can see them.
I can see them.
I can see them.
Okay, I'll brighten this.
Yeah, why don't you brighten the screen a bit?
Oh, that's what the place looks like. I usually have it quite low.
Yeah. Yeah, really? Yeah, okay.
I'm in trouble then.
You're not in as much trouble as Parker, who is in quite serious trouble. Parker, from the little kind of sludgy pool at your feet,
Oh dear.
you're too blissed out to notice this, but slithering up from the dark, a large form appears.
Naga.
Trust in me.
It's a Naga.
It's some kind of enormous snake, Parker.
Yeah, Naga.
Right.
And what it does is it wraps itself around you.
Do I not get a save on?
Parker, I'm sorry, the news is not good. First of all,
Always me.
why always? First of all, it grabs you, Parker, or at least attempts to. Now, you are paralyzed, and there's nothing good about being paralyzed. Any attack against you is an automatic hit. Yep.
Yeah.
And is automatically a critical.
You're
I
doomed.
mean, there's not much else I can say about that. I mean, I'd like to soften the, sweeten the pill, soften the blow.
Go on, just get on with it.
So first of all, it attacks at advantage, but any attack is a critical hit. So let's roll the attack at advantage. First of all, it attacks with its constrict attack, and it hits armor class
Do I not get
first roll,
dexterity bonuses
17. That may not be enough.
and stuff?
We'll worry about that in a moment. What's your armor class?
22.
So that's a miss. And then the second attack is a miss. And then it tries to bite you. Yep. First attack, the first roll rather, hits armor class. I don't think that's going to be enough. That is armor class 15 is not enough, is it? And because it's an advantage, armor class 20 also not enough. So this thing slithers out of the murk and misses you spectacularly. I thought you were a goner there, Parker, it's your turn. Now, you are still charmed. There's nothing you can do, but at the end of your turn, you need to make 2 saving throws.
Wisdom.
Parker, at the end of your turn. Yes. One is relatively easy, one is more difficult. Let's start with the easy one.
Right, and until then I can't do anything because I'm paralysed.
That's right. That's right. You're paralysed and
Here's the first
incapacitated and charmed. Oh.
Use your Aut dice.
Yeah.
Or you
I mean, it
could
could
wait.
be worse. It literally couldn't be worse.
Go on. We'll do that.
And this is the easier one to do.
So
9 and add a d6.
plus a 3 is 12 plus 2 is 40.
Okay, and then you've got your second saving throw. This is the one you really want to make. This is the one against the lower, more mellifluous, more enchanting.
So was the first one a save?
First one was a save.
Right. This
Rolling.
one is a 9.
Dear. Okay.
Wisdom 9.
Yeah. Okay. So you've shaken yourself free of one of the alluring voices, but I'm afraid you haven't shaken yourself free of both of them. Bugraft, it's your round. You are free to act as you wish. You've got 3 of these things around you.
Right. Is there still singing? I mean, I've got my ears.
They're singing, but you feel like you've shaken it off.
Okay.
And this singing is coming from these things around him and the
Well,
snake.
you. I mean,
And the
are
Naga.
you?
I think you might want to make some noise.
Me. I'm going to start raging. Well, hang
Right.
on.
Okay.
Nobody's going to take me alive. I say that pretty loudly so they can hear me across the other side. Other side of the marsh. And then I'm going to attack the one to the south of me.
Okay.
So I roll a. So add 7 to this.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got to add the 7. It's 22.
Does it hit? Absolutely.
That's 2d6 plus. Sorry. Oh no, I'm raging. Sorry.
Yep.
And
Just got
how difficult can it be?
11 points of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Does it look?
Yes, it does look wounded. Is that it? Have you got another attack or not?
Can I move? Should I move out of the
You
way?
most certainly can. There might be an attack of opportunity on you.
Which way is Paul?
Who knows?
Bugraft, you're trying to work out which way Cuthbert went. You think he's almost directly to the south of you, but really quite a distance. You made it about a third to a half of the way to where you think Cuthbert was going. Cuthbert told you where he was going, right? He said it's about 100 and something yards to the southwest, and he padded off into the darkness. You made it 40, 50 yards in his tracks, on his trail, before becoming enchanted by this song. So it's dark, you're not quite sure where you are, you're sort of following your nose a little, but you think that if you were going to try and go after Cuthbert, he's probably 50 or 60 yards sort of south of you, sort of maybe
Really?
west of you.
Raging to
Okay.
run away.
I'm going to move to the south.
Now, do you draw an attack of opportunity by doing so?
Yes.
Okay. From all of them,
Yes.
Yes.
They just
Okay.
get one attack, don't they?
Each.
they get one attack. The first one hits armor class. It's not good enough. Second one hits armor class 18, 19, 21.
Yeah.
And I might as well roll the attack for the other one. Rolled off an 18, a 4. So one hit on you with its claws does 2d4 plus 1 on that attack of opportunity, doing a total of 8 points of damage.
Right. So I'm raging. So I only take 4 points.
Okay, and you're splashing south, heading off in the general
I'm
direction
making
that
quite a
you
lot of
think
noise.
Cuthbert went into. Yeah, got it.
Going this way.
Burple, you are padding your way west. You hear, to your southwest, you hear Bugraft quite clearly, quite distinctly, say something like, "Nobody's going to take me alive!" You hear squeals, you hear the sound of combat. You think you're probably 2 turns worth of movement away from where you detect that to be, and your sense of the nature of this enchanting song is that if you went that far, if you zeroed in on that location, you would be at risk of being enchanted.
I'm going to. Can I block my ears?
Yeah, You can. You would have thought minimum you get advantage on saving throws.
I wouldn't be able to hear where everybody is though. So, and
That's right.
You say
you'll
I'm
be able to
3
hear a
rounds.
thing.
You say I'm 3 rounds away.
You reckon a couple of rounds, or a couple of turns of movement away, bearing in mind that you're moving at half speed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have another round of movement then.
Okay. Are you blocking your ears?
Yes.
Fine. And let's move on to Sessions. Sessions, you're sitting there. Your tea has brewed.
Yeah, but I can now hear Bugraft.
Over here,
You hear Bugraft. Bugraft is probably, I don't know how many tens of yards to your southwest.
Okay, so
You
I'll,
west-southwest, yeah. I mean, it's all very difficult in the dark.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to move southwest down the path.
following Cuthbert's track. Yep.
Yeah, which is the way that Bugraft and Park originally went.
That's exactly it, yes.
Yeah. But I'm going to be wary of this sound, yeah? I don't really want it to get louder.
Okay, yeah, I understand. So if you feel that
If it's getting louder, I'm going to move more south.
you're going to skirt it. Yeah.
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 So, I'll move southwest, but if it's getting too loud, I'm going to start moving more south, and I'll move down. So that
Understood.
will take me about 30 feet down the path.
Got it. You feel at the end of your turn's worth of movement that you can kind of think you might be able to hear something small, inadequate and cowardly crashing in the same direction as you through the swamp in the dark.
I almost certainly recognise that as Uncle Bugraft, don't I?
You can
Small,
also hear
cowardly, and crashing.
you can hear the beating of wings and this strange song to your northwest. You think you're sort of not close enough to be enchanted by it. You're not really sure, but you think you're safe enough at the moment.
Okay.
And we move on. We jump back. The scene dissolves back to the lair of the Lizardfolk. And Cuthbert, what do you want to do?
Well, I think the obvious question is that can Cuthbert actually hear anything of what is going on?
Oh, give me a perception check.
Okay, I'll give you a perception check. Ooh, 9.
You hear some sounds from behind you in the swamp, but nothing there tells you that there's anything to pay particular attention to. Maybe it's wildlife.
Okay.
Maybe it was just your imagination.
All right. In which case, I'm going to proceed south just a little bit further so that
Okay.
I can see.
And you can see some stuff.
I can see some stuff because I was at the cusp.
You have a passageway that leads off to your sort of northwest.
Yeah.
You have an alcove straight in front of you. Also leading off to your south is a little staircase. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then leading off to your east is another passageway. What would you like to do?
I think the alcove, because it's the most kind of...
Well, you can see the alcove without going into it. It fills the southern end of the intersection. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a few javelins there. There are some wooden clubs that are decorated with shells.
Mm-hmm.
There looks like there's a water pot, a big clay pot with what looks like less than the usually green and sludgy water in it. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's mosquitoes everywhere. That's what you can see to your south in the alcove. To your east, it branches away. There's a very strong smell coming to you from your south. You think from down that little staircase that you can see.
Okay.
Yeah. There are flies buzzing around in that area, and there's a stink of waste.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you can sort of detect from heading that way. The passageway that heads off directly to your east, there is a scattering of something at the far edge of your vision as it leads away from you. It's bird shit, Cuthbert.
Okay.
Yep. And then the passageway that leads off to your northwest there's nothing particularly interesting about it. It seems to be well trod. No need to make a survival check. It seems to be frequented. Yes?
Yeah.
And that's where the snoring is coming from.
Okay. All right.
I think we've learned an awful lot about what Cuthbert did, and we're going to go back to the others, and we'll pick things up with... Okay, so Parker.
Right. What saving throws do I have to make first?
First of all, you
Can I do anything on my round?
No,
or not?
not yet, because the bad things happen first.
The bad things happen.
So this snake is going to try, this giant constrictor snake is going to try and grab you again. Yep.
Oh, God.
Because you didn't make the
Yes.
critical saving throw. Rolling at
Like a
advantage.
miss.
Ooh, rolls
Oh,
at-
the 20.
Well, it makes no difference, does it?
It makes no difference because it's always a critical because of your state, because of your current predicament. Parker, you take the following damage as a result of being constricted. I can't pretend that this is going to be good. In fact, Parker, it's going to be double plus ungood.
Is that including the critical?
It's 26. That's not the end of it. That's 30
Oh.
points
Oh.
of damage.
Ouch.
Ouch. We're doomed. That's
Now,
the first hit.
Parker, are you alive?
I'm still alive.
Okay,
On
you're
Caroline.
constricted, Parker.
Yes.
That means that you're grappled. Yes.
Just insane.
And that is that for it. And you're going to get the opportunity to try and shake off your whatever. But first,
I don't
we're
get an
talk-
action though, do I?
Not yet. It's not your go yet. It's not your turn yet. We're running the turn of the bad people. We have some other bad people to organise. We have these harples, these creatures of migration. No, so the Bugraft, you are fluttered after by these bad people. Yep. First one hits armor class 21 with the claws. Is that a hit?
It is a hit.
Right.
Right, so do your
okay.
damage and then I'll have a reaction against it, which is called Wrath of Storm.
Okay, so the first attack does 2d4 plus 1 from their claws, rolling 8 points of damage. Ooh.
Yes, I take half damage.
That's what that Wrath of Storm does, yeah?
No, it's
No,
the
that's
raging.
what Raging does.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, and then the second attack with the club from this thing, rolling a 10, armor class 13, that's not going to be
No.
enough. Okay, so what's your reaction?
It's called Wrath of Storm. I don't need concentration or anything. It's not a spell. It's not like can't do it when I'm raging. Within 5 feet, I use my attack. I use my reaction. It's going to make a Dex saving throw.
Yeah.
Take 2d8 lightning thunder damage or thunder damage.
Do you get to pick which one it is?
Well, the first one that I damaged previously, I'm going to.
No. I mean, is it lightning or is it thunder damage?
Yeah, I can choose.
Yeah, but is it
You
lightning
need to
or is
choose
it
which
thunder
one are you
damage?
choosing.
It's not a difficult question.
One begins with an L, one begins with a T.
Lightning.
Lightning. Okay, so I'm going to make
The wrong one.
What was the DC of the saving throw? Well, I rolled a 19 for the save.
That's half 2d8, save to half.
Okay.
So it takes 2 points of damage. That's a bit rubbish. Oops.
It laughs. The second one rolls a 12. 15, is that a miss?
It's a miss.
And then the second attack, 7, only a 10. That's also a miss. And then the third one rolls an 8. It's an 11, which is not enough. And another 8. So that,
I'm lucky able to get out of here. So
yep.
6 attacks around. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
you've got 3 of them kind of flapping around after you. Parker we've dealt with. He's in terrible trouble. But Parker, it is now your turn. You're still paralysed, Parker.
Right, so I can't do anything. Can't
But you
take
do get 1 saving throw.
Here we go.
A wisdom say.
An 8 for a 10. It's just
Parker, the news is not good.
okay. Bye bye. See you again later.
Bugraft, it is your round on 18. What do you want to do?
Right. Well, I'm raging, so I'm going to attack. Which, if I hit one of them before, is one of them weaker?
Yeah, one of them is a bit weaker. One of them is a little bit weaker. You want to target that one, yep?
Yeah. Is that the northwest
Okay.
or east one?
It is the one directly to your west.
Okay, so I'll bash that. I'm attacking at +6, +7 with a +1 great silver greatsword.
Okay.
So I roll a 16 plus 7. It's 20.
Yeah, it's 23.
3.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit. Yeah.
And I do 2d6 plus 6 damage.
Okay.
So I just roll. Sorry. This plus 6. 8 plus 6 is 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage on this thing, and it's looking very unwell indeed. Yeah, it's looking. It looks like it's seriously in trouble.
Can I do anything else?
Don't know. Can you do anything
got
else?
a reaction. No, I think that's it.
That's it. Okay, and we move on to. Okay,
What
so
is
Burple.
Bugcraft calling out? Just so we know.
What?
Are you calling out, or are you just making fighty sounds?
Oh no, I'm shouting out. Over here, I'm being attacked by these, what are they called? Harples.
Harples.
I'm being attacked by some harples.
Pihars.
There's 3 harples, and Parker's being attacked by a big naga.
Parkle's being attacked by. Well, you don't know that, Johnny.
Yes,
So,
that's my 43 years
At what
experience.
point can I see the snake?
What's your
Just
dark
heading
vision?
60 foot, I think.
So, as you begin your round, Burple, you've been skirting around to the north of the singing. You think you've been dead reckoning it since you blocked your ears,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You think by dead reckoning that you've come sort of almost directly north of where you've heard the singing from, and you think that you're close enough to be in trouble if your ears weren't blocked. Looking south in the dark, you can see a stand of trees. Can you give me a perception check?
A perception check I can indeed. That one.
Perception, man.
We don't use passive perception enough.
7.
7's not amazing. Okay. You can detect some kind of... You're not unblocking your ears, right? Through the trees to your south, on the other side of the trees to your south, you think you can see some movement in a little bit of... It's not a moonlit night. It's still drizzling and overcast. But nevertheless, you think you might have picked up some ripples or some movement or something through the trees to your south. Not far away from you. I mean, within... It's difficult ground. But what's your movement? 6?
6, yeah. The point is, I mean, can I see enough to identify something or someone that isn't a member of the party and that looks like it might be something I would want to target with a spell?
Well, that was the 7 on your perception check, so I'm kind of saying no.
Okay, got it. In which case, I will trigger a light spell on it.
Yes. So you're casting light spell. You can cast at a point in space.
I can do it on a pebble. I can do it on an object that I have.
You can cast it on an object. I mean,
that
you
I
could
have to
identify the
touch.
trees that you're looking through. I suppose that doesn't really
I
help
have
you, does
no,
it?
it's something that I have to touch. So I've got.
That's a pain in the arse.
Slingshot, bow and arrow.
Well, I've got daylight. I can do a daylight spell, but it's a bit kind of sledgehammer to crack a nut.
Wow,
60-foot
yeah.
radius, bright light, and then 60-foot radius, dim light. It's
That's
like-
quite handy.
It's quite a lot of light. Yeah.
Well, you know, what do you think?
What I'm trying to do, Mike. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is distract this thing, lure this thing away. So I'm basically doing a light spell
Gotcha.
on a pebble and chucking
Yes.
it up to the thing to illuminate it, but also making noise, going, "Hey, what's going on over there?" To trying to draw
I
attention.
understand. So you're casting a light spell on a pebble. You're lobbing the pebble in the general direction of where you think that struggle is going on, to get a better look. But at the same time, you're waving your arms about and making a noise.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good round, and that's what you've done. The pebble. Give me it's a formality, but give me a to hit roll. I mean, if you roll something awful, then you've thrown the pebble somewhere stupid. But otherwise, as long as you're generally in the right area.
So +5,
Okay. Yeah.
getting 10.
10 is enough. It's close. It's almost,
It's going well.
You know. I mean, I'm thinking of that golf shot where they're trying to get out the trees and they hit the tree and it bounces back. But I don't think it's,
Right. It's
in
not
that
that bad.
territory. I think you kind of lobbed it underarm. It's winged its way over this little stand of trees and it's landed
Close
I'm
enough
saying-
to put it in.
close enough and not in a pool of water or anything where it's just gone sort of become obscured.
Right.
And you can see, as a result of the light spell landing in that general area, that you were right. Parker, you can now make out the shape of Parker, who seems to be in some sort of distress. He's not moving, Burple. He's not doing anything. It's like he might be dead. He's completely surrounded by the coils of an enormous snake. that seems to be coming up from the kind of he's knee deep, maybe thigh deep in some kind of puddle under the base of these trees. This thing seems to have come out from under the trees. And can you give me another? I'm going to be super nice here. Can you give me another perception check, because you've now got some light in the area, more light.
10. It's better.
No, okay. So that's what you can make out. I think that's pretty good. And I'm going to move on to sessions.
Does this thing notice me? Is it interested in me?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. It doesn't sort of go, oh, what's that? Who's this?
Okay, so there's a big light beacon over here somewhere now, yeah?
Yeah, so you, Sessions, over to your west, out in the dark.
It's just a light spell.
Seemingly further away than where you think you can hear Bugraft battling away. Yeah, you see a little arc, like a little streak of light, shoot from the north in a little arc, and then land down off to your west. I mean, the thing about light is it only needs to be where you're looking. It doesn't need to be where you are. I'm going to give me a perception check, Sessions. It's not easy because it's not easy. There's stuff in the way.
I rolled a 12 for a 15 perception.
I think 15's pretty decent. I think you can tell that where that light has landed, there's some kind of struggle going on. You can see figures. Well, you can, or not struggle, but you can see there's some kind of activity going on. There's some form.
Okay.
There's some kind of movement. It doesn't look like a fight in that sense, but there's something going on over there. You can probably infer that Burple is the source of the light and that he's thrown it there for a reason. But that's up to you to work to metagame. That's up for you to metagame out.
But there's a big light and Bugraft is shouting.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Is it difficult ground, this bog?
Yeah.
All of it is difficult ground. Yeah. I mean, there are some bits which are more difficult than others, so it's abstracted a little. Because sometimes you're really sloshing through almost waist-deep water. Other times you're springing across a bouncy tussock, which I know is something that we're all fond of.
Gotta love a bouncy tussock.
Oh, I love I like to spring across a bouncy tussock.
Of an evening.
Yeah. All adults, we all know what we're up to. Good hot shower afterwards.
In my go,
okay.
Then I'm going to plod a full round of movement, achieving almost nothing. Yep. Then I'm going to... Channel Divinity, invoke duplicity to summon another version of me.
Can you target it?
Yeah, I'm going to put it here.
Okay.
In a straight line between me and the source of light.
You're just going to. You're going to summon it.
And then I'm going to move it as a bonus action another 30 feet towards the light.
Okay. Yes, I understand. It's hit the area of trees that this form that is being lit by this mysterious light spell is behind. It's going to reach those trees. Yep. Is that you done?
That's me. That's my action, bonus action, and a move.
Let's switch our attention to Cuthbert. Cuthbert, I'm just going to do a bit of whatever it is.
Mappy change. Yeah, there we go.
Well, that's
map,
that's
not
something else.
nappy. Mappy, not nappy.
Change. Well, at my age.
No, not yet. Another year or two, and you'll be back.
Matron, I need my dice tray changing. Cuthbert, you've prodded your way. Well, you've crept into this structure. You found an alcove opposite you. There's a water pot in there, plus a cistern. Basically, don't blame the cistern. And there's some armament. There's javelins and some shields and stuff. To your right, that is to your west, you can hear the sound of gentle snoring.
Oh, snoring.
To your east, it's quiet. There's a passageway extending off, and you can see that there is what look like bird droppings coating the floor in that passageway. And then to your sort of just past the alcove, there's a passageway that opens up to the south, and there's a noisome smell of kind of rank, rotting vegetables and waste coming from there. What do you want to do?
I think I'm again being ultra cautious. I mean, I kind of appreciate I'm taking it slowly, but I'm not about to start, unless I can really help it, driving down passageways. So the passageways...
You are invisible, remember?
I am invisible.
Until Burple casts a concentration spell, obviously.
I'm going to, again at quarter speed, I'm going to head down a passageway to my right, heading effectively west.
Yep, got it.
I'm going to go move 15.
Yeah. And you pad your way along. The snoring it starts to curve its way north again. Yep.
Yep.
It's like you've come down. It's like you've come down a slope and then you're sort of heading southwest.
Mhm.
Yes, and then it's popped up like a hockey stick, and you can see in front of you another junction. The snoring is coming from a little opening to your north. So this little passageway runs up, splits into two. If you were to go north, that's where the snoring is coming from. It also seems to turn to the south. There's no particular sound coming from there.
Okay. Well, I've done a move, so
I think at one point I need to open the adventure so I know what's going on. It's unconventional.
I find that just gets in the way.
I know, that's why they call me the Maverick.
No, they don't.
They don't call me anything.
No, they do.
They call me Dickface McClure.
Amongst other things.
And let's move on to the creatures.
The creatures.
So, Parker. How many hit points is Parker on?
On 8.
Twice as many as Johnny.
Parker is in.
This thing's not interested in my intervention.
We're going to get to that in a moment. This thing isn't. No, it's an animal that has prey. This is not good. Basically, you're restrained and you're paralyzed.
Paralyzed is the key one for the critical.
Paralyzed is a big problem, isn't it?
Yeah, restrained is not terrible.
The creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. So basically, I have an attack on you at advantage.
Except you're constricting.
Parker. Yeah, but the constrictor rules just says until this grapple ends, the creature is restrained.
Oh, okay.
Do I get my dexterity bonus?
There's no such thing as
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Dexterity special agent.
Dex.
Yep.
No,
You do.
You get none of all of that is bundled into the advantage mechanic, right?
Yeah.
The advantage covers everything. You get your armor class doesn't move. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Your armor class is your armor class, and it just stays as such.
Cool.
And I roll at advantage. Here we go.
Give it a
Rolling
go.
at advantage. Your armor class is chunky, right? It's 22 or something. Is it a chunky
It's
monkey?
certainly chunky, yeah.
It's a chunky monkey.
Chunky.
Okay.
It's chunky.
Rolling at plus
Right,
6.
chunky
First
like.
roll, getting a 10, which
10,
is
16.
not enough. And the second roll, getting a... Jesus, a 4.
Ah, yes.
This doesn't seem anywhere near severe enough.
I'm standing there.
Well,
Anyway,
lying
yeah,
there.
lying there. Burple.
Yes.
Things emerge from the tree
Marvellous.
near you. Burple.
Marvellous.
Or rather, a thing emerges from the trees near you. It flaps down and attacks you. Give me a perception check. I'm
Another
being
one?
nice here. Yeah, another one, yeah. Just because something's happened.
25.
25. Burple, as this thing swoops down from the tree and your attention is drawn that way, you think you can make out another shape in that tree that's not swooping down on you.
Right.
Got me?
Yes.
This thing, on the other hand, is going to attack you with its claws and attack you with its club. The first
Not
attack
going
with
for the nearer target then.
What's the nearer target? Oh, you mean the thing in the tree with it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It seems to be leaving that alone, almost as if it's
Another one.
rolling a 3. Fucking hell. Which is obviously a miss. And then the second attack with the club. Oh, hello. 18. That is 18, 19, 21. That's going to be a hit.
That's
that
a
must
hit.
be a hit.
Yes.
You take a D4 plus 1 bludgeoning damage. You take 2 points of damage.
Deux points.
And this thing is right up in your grill. It's ugly. It's like a kind of weird reptilian body and a strange, warped, scraggly human top half. And that is it apart from Bugraft.
Right. Well, you're attacking me.
Yeah.
Doesn't Parker get a go?
Well, on Parker's round he gets a go, yeah. But
Oh,
at
you
the
mean
moment we're
attacking Bugraft? Sorry, I see what
doing-
you're
Yeah,
saying.
attacking Bugraft. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So I'm just thinking about whether or not any of these creatures are going to be distracted by your pretend person sessions.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a roll for the northernmost one. I think it's unlikely, but I'm going to number. No. Okay, so they attack Bugraft. They're not distracted by this thing.
If I
The
shout, there's something over there, Look behind you.
Look behind you. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, there's
There you go. Oh no, there isn't.
I'll say, one of my companions has come to the rescue.
Yeah.
Does that work?
No. The first one, therefore, attacking with its claws. So the attacker +3. Here we go. First one, claws first, and then the club. Yeah. 4 hitting armor class 7. That's not going to be enough. And 11 hitting armor class 14.
No.
The second one, the northernmost one, rolls a 9, hitting armor class 12 is not enough, and a 1.
Well, 1, lose all their goes.
And then the last one rolls a 3. Dearie me, this is hopeless. And this is going well.
And it's
a 2.
Some brilliant
There.
rolls here.
Keep
Get
going
that.
like that, Mike.
Bollocks. It's really annoying. Okay, so that is it for the harpies and the snake. And we move on to Parker, who can't do anything. But at the end of your turn, you get another saving throw against the paralysis.
D20.
I mean, you've been rolling garbage.
10 plus.
What sort of save is it?
What was it? Constitution?
You know, it's a wisdom
Kind of
save. What is it?
12
10.
in total then.
It's not enough, no. Shit. Right, over in
Need to
Cowardice
see
Corner.
if I haven't missed some rule or something
About not being subjected
I
to.
don't
No.
I don't know, some extra bonus. I guess it's what is it, like a DC 15?
Well,
or
we're not going to
something?
discuss specific numbers.
that's
but
gonna be
12.
some-
12 is insufficient.
That's going to be some kind of missed
Yeah.
bonus. Oh yes, look, I've just found +7. Where was
Yeah.
that all that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny that. Just appeared out of nowhere.
I feel like Johnny's hit points.
It looked like a 1. Also a bit like Johnny's hit points. Talking, so in Cowardice Corner, we have Bugraft.
What do you mean cowardice corner? I'm the only one that's fighting anything.
It's so easy to. Anyway, on you go. It's your round.
Right.
Turn.
So I'm going to attack the one I've been attacking previously.
Yeah. The most wounded one, the one to your west. Yep.
I am raging.
Okay.
And I'm using my +1 silvered short the sword.
Your +1 silver chip. Okay. Yep.
Greatsword. +1 silver greatsword. Okay, so I'm rolling this and
+1 silver
adding,
greatsword. Yep.
adding 7 to it.
Oh,
A 13.
you can add anything you like to it, but that is a no. That is a hit, in fact.
Oh, right, okay. So I rolled 2d6 plus 6, and I roll this and that's 6.
It's gonna be done.
9 points of damage.
You chop its head off. There's a fluttering of feathers, a squawk, and it squishes into the swamp at your feet.
Johnny, with the barbarian, are there kind of gradients of raging? Do you get pissed off, annoyed, and just not very happy?
Well,
as
like Mean Machine.
Yeah, you can dial it up. Not happy,
Yeah, it
pissed
probably
off,
does.
really
At the
annoyed,
moment I'm kind of
raging, spitting,
slightly
slightly
laid back
ticked off.
raging.
slightly
Yeah,
annoyed, peeved.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, peeved.
Slightly peeved. I'm on level 1 rage. Slightly peeved.
Not happy.
Well, is there anything else you're doing, Bugraft?
Then I might actually step to the northeast 5 feet, so I'm not provoking any attacks of opportunity, but I am sort of encouraging them to head towards the
Somebody else.
fake Graham.
Okay, I understand.
You're encouraging-
Yeah. I mean, you can see. You can see. Hold up, you haven't got dark vision, have you, Bugraft?
I have. No, I haven't actually. Am I a dwarf or
You're a hobbit.
I'm a hobbit? Sorry.
But there's a light spell over here somewhere, yeah?
Word dwarf. Yeah,
I
but the
think
light spell is
I've got
20
a
foot
light
bright.
spell.
Light spell is
on it.
20 foot bright, 20 foot dim.
Yeah.
Really,
got
what I'm
one
trying
on-
to establish is a
I've got a light
creature
spell
that-
on my pebble, I think. On a pebble.
Okay. I'm just thinking whether or not you can spot Sessions is. What's it called? Sessions again? I keep forgetting.
Invoke duplicity, my duplicitous alternative.
Yeah, so whether or not you can see that duplicitous alternative to draw attention to it in the first place. Bearing in mind it isn't in itself lit up with anything. You don't have dark vision. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Does it make any noises?
I was going to ignore your efforts anyway, so let's not pretend that I was going to spend ages on it. Burple.
Yes.
It's your go, Burple, and you are you have a thing in your grill.
Yeah.
You have a harple in your
I
barb.
do. Well, first of all, I'm going to do dissonant whispers on the snake. Just make sure I've got the range. Just make sure I've got the
Whispers.
range. Wisdom saving throw DC 14.
Okay, I doubt this thing has got a first-class wisdom save. Let's have a look. I was wrong. Okay, so it rolls its wisdom save, rolling a 14.
A 14?
Yep, rolling a 14. That's what you asked for, isn't it?
But it's got a minus 1.
I'm afraid it hasn't. It's just got nothing. It's just got literally that was it.
God, that's so annoying.
And that doesn't do anything as a result?
It does do some damage. It does do some
Oh,
damage.
okay.
But not
hit
the
me.
full damage. It takes half 3d6. So it takes
Oh dear, we're talking about a very big creature here.
3 points of damage.
Okay,
It's racked with pain.
You think you might have affected it a little, but you're not really sure. So, weedy was your damage.
It's racked with pain.
Maybe a bit of it is.
It's racked with terrible pain. It's not just pain, it's terrible pain.
It may well be, but it might be such a small part of it, and that part might be under the surface or something. Sessions, it is your time. Your time has come.
Yeah. Okay. So my really cunning plan doesn't actually work. That's slightly annoying.
Okay.
But my slightly less cunning plan may work. So
What was the cunning plan for starters?
That my cunning plan was to stand where the invoke duplicity spell is and cast a whole load of concentration spells at different times. But that won't work.
Okay, because it's a concentration spell itself.
Yes.
Always the problem.
So
Okay.
what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to shuffle as a bonus action the duplicitous alternate me slightly closer to where I hear the Burple combat.
Yeah, got it.
And then a non-concentration spell, I will cast Aid,
Good spell.
affecting Burple, Parker, and Bugraft. I will
Wow,
cast it at
awesome.
third level,
Yeah.
giving them 10 hit points each.
Awesome.
Now, only an awful curmudgeon would ask
Yeah.
about your ability to target people you can or cannot see with that spell.
Well, I can certainly see Parker, yeah?
Parker has got a light spell near him. Yes,
Yeah.
you can see Parker. Do you see through the eyes of your aspect?
No, I see through my own sense as far as I
Right,
can
even
tell.
so, I think you can determine Parker.
Yeah.
Uh,
Burple must be
Bugraft-
within 30 foot of the... Is he not?
The what?
Within 30 foot of the... 40 foot of the light spell? He's only 40 foot away.
okay, so yeah.
It depends exactly where it landed. Maybe you need to decide the square it landed
No, I don't
in.
think we're not going to split hairs. Okay, so you're saying that Burple is inside the light spell.
So is Bugraft.
Fine. There you go. It's
So
all
I
been
should be able
perfectly
to knock
accounted
them
for.
out.
So everybody gets X number of hit points each, and their maximum hit points goes up
Yeah,
as well,
by
right?
10.
Wowzers.
Yeah, and that's me, fast and
And
efficient.
that's you done. Okay. Let us.
And that's
move
not a
back.
concentration spell.
No, fine. Cuthbert,
Hello.
let's go back to the lair. You're in this little passageway. You're being through an abundance of caution. You're moving extremely slowly, but you've reached a point where you can kind of head up towards a little opening,
Yeah.
which seems to have this snoring issuing from it, or it looks like there's a passageway that leads off to your left. Obviously, or you can go back to where you came from, back to the kind of main entrance junction, as it were. What do you want to do?
I'm going to heading towards the snoring very, very quiet.
Okay, you're heading towards the snoring very quietly, and you make your way into a chamber, or rather to the entrance of a chamber, which I will describe to you.
Please do.
It's roughly circular. You think that the far wall of it would be kind of up against the edge of the structure.
Yeah.
So it looks like you've worked your way round into the structure, and then you've almost worked your way back round to its northern edge. Yep.
Yep.
It's some kind of, I mean, it will not surprise you to learn, some kind of sleeping chamber. And there are sleeping pallets on the ground. They look like they're made of swamp grass and mud. Yeah. The walls are kind of the standard, so the roots sort of twine all over the walls, mangaroo branches, but the floor is kind of clear. It's like it's not dry, but it's like a sort of flattened, muddy base.
Yep.
Yes? And there are a few lizard folk in here asleep on these pallets. You think you've got dark vision, right?
Yes.
You think there are 4 lizard folk in this chamber, but can you give me a perception check?
I can certainly give a perception check, just rolling that. I get a perception of 25.
Wow. Okay, 25, Cuthbert. 3 of the figures are sleeping restfully, peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
One of the figures is not. One of the figures is on its back, and its back is slightly arched, and its head is slightly thrown back. And it is in a sort of state of rigor or seizure, yes? But quietly. It's like it's gripped by something.
Oh.
And you notice with your 25 perception check that emerging from it on its surface is a sort of an infestation of little green worms.
Oh, I'm not staying around here.
I don't know if you can see green with your dark vision, but in that sort of 0 dark 30 style, yes, you're making your way round. You're picking out things, but I don't know how your dark vision is working, but you can see in black and white. But yes, there are tiny wriggling forms on this thing. It's you think it's alive. You think it's just alive, but it looks like something is going on with it. The other forms who are sleeping peacefully seem unaware of its predicament. Would you like to do anything else, or shall we move back to the others? I mean, you've got...
No, I've moved.
You've got you've got the cunning action, and you've got your action surge, which, as everybody knows, I can't bring myself to do it.
Isn't there another passageway to the south?
Yes. Well, absolutely. Sorry. Yes. Very good point, Dan. Mr. Daniel P. Metagame.
He's standing right next to it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, yeah.
It's not
See, my thinking.
Isn't there a corridor there?
My thinking is I've still got this bag of ball bearings. I could throw a few in.
God,
Wake the rest of them up. Hopefully they'll see the green worms. I'm not going anywhere near this on my own. I think
you can see the passageway to that heads southeast. So you're in a sort of a triangle, if you like. Yep.
Yeah.
The passageway you come up, which is coming, doing that angle. You've got a passageway that's heading down to the southwest, and then you've got this chamber opening directly to your north.
All right, I will use my dash action, which will take me, let's say...
Your cunning action.
My cunning takes me 10 foot down to the south, and that's my round.
Well, yes, but you can see a little bit more if you head that far south.
Okay.
And what you can see is that there is a little set of... It's very rough and ready, but a set of steps heading further down that seem to then bottom out at a passageway or an opening. You can see that passageway runs directly west, but then drops down what looked like a rough set of steps that a little bit like the lair of the Grey Woodsman.
Yeah.
It's made by the packing of mud and earth in between transverse roots to form a series, almost like filled trays to form steps leading down. Yep. And then they seem to curve away to your south as you're looking down that little passageway, and then it seems to flatten. You can just make out that it flattens out and seems to open up into another chamber. And can you give me yet another perception check?
Another perception check. I roll much worse this time. A 15.
15 is fine. You can hear more light snoring from that direction.
Okay.
And I think that is plenty for you.
I think that's loads. Thank you very much.
Mr. Sneaky Cuthbert person. And we return outside to the swamp, where the drizzle is falling and the frogs are croaking. And there is the very rare and specific sound of the lesser green sedge warbler, but doing its only once a year secondary mating call.
What does it sound like?
Well, I mean, nobody's really heard it, to be honest. In fact, I think our readers will be the first people to hear it. But it is a cross between the sound of somebody tuning a bassoon and somebody dropping a kazoo.
Please don't describe it.
From the top of a lighthouse. Right, let's talk monsters. Attacking people. Let's start with Bugraft this time. So the first Harpy on Bugraft, rolling at +3, hits armor class 15, which is not enough, or is that enough?
Not enough.
The second attack with the club, 16, hits armor class 19.
That's a hit.
That's a hit for the club damage, which is a D4 plus 1 bludgeoning damage. Bugraft, you take a further 5 points of damage.
So that's rounded down, is it?
Yeah. You take 4
2.
round 4. Yeah. And then the other Harple rolls a 5, which is going to be a miss, and a 9, which is only it's going to be a miss.
A 9.
A 9.
A 9.
And then and let's do the Harple that's attacking the Harple on Burple.
Harple and Barple.
Attacking with its claw, it rolls a 6, which is a 9, which is not enough.
Abysmal dice rolls.
And an 11, which is a 14, which is not enough.
Miss.
Damn it! And then, with advantage on Parker with his massive armor class, rolling at +6. Rolling an 18, hitting armor class 24. That's going to be enough, and I don't need to make the other dice roll. It's a critical on Parker.
Go on, do
The
your
damage.
worst.
Well, I
Yeah.
am literally going to do my worst.
Yeah.
Does it want to draw a card? I don't think it does. I don't think it's appropriate because I think that the card is never going to come up with the right kind of damage. Yeah, it's never going to be appropriate. So it's just vastly inappropriate. Let's roll the damage on Parker. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 points of damage on Parker.
Right. Well, I was on 18, so now my relentless endurance kicks in and I'm on 1.
Yes, that's right. And it is your turn, Parker, during which you can do nothing but this. Make your saving throw. This is the time, Parker. I mean,
You
there's
really
a
want
number.
to make that roll.
What is
Really
your
wanna
what is
make
your
that roll.
what is
Hold
your
on.
wisdom saving throw bonus?
2. So,
2,
hold
okay.
on, one question.
Yeah. You've always got a question. Yeah. What's
yeah,
the question
of
this
course.
time?
First of all...
Is it about the planetary system?
No, I have this elemental attunement thing, which allows me, as an action, you can briefly control elemental forces within 30 feet of you. A harmless sensory effect, flight, or snuff a candle or a campfire, chill or light a campfire, chill or warm, 1
There's
pound.
no campfires nearby.
No, but what I'm saying is, can I
You can
do
chill or
something
form.
like create some flame in front of his eyes, and even though harmless, would distract him and cause him to aid me in my. Okay,
so
so the
first of all-
paralysis.
Whoa!
is-
You're very loud, Lucas.
Oh, sorry.
He's
So
getting
the
excited.
paralysis-
You're about to kill his character. What do you,
Yeah.
give him a
Yeah,
chance.
but I mean, it's just that it's I'm I can't concentrate because my ears are bleeding.
Let me just turn that. So the paralysis, I have to save against, but at least that way
Very
it
well.
will be distracted for the
So I can't
restraint.
hear anything now. Right, let's just be clear on one thing, Lucas.
Yes.
You're not being paralysed by this boa constrictor.
No.
So it doesn't matter what you do to this snake in terms of flames and so forth. It's not going to affect your paralysis one whit. You're being paralysed by the siren song.
Right, but I
From
might
elsewhere.
at least be able to take an action in that the restraint would, because the thing is, if I make this saving throw and I'm no longer paralysed,
Yes.
in my next round I'm still going to have to take some kind of action to get out of being restrained. So
You
what
are,
I'm saying is,
yes.
if I can do something in this round, even though I'm paralysed, in terms of removing the restraint, then that means in the next round it makes me it means it doesn't get this advantage attack on me.
Is this a bonus action?
As an action, you can briefly control elemental forces.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see if I
okay.
can shock it or
Yes,
something.
no, what
to
you're trying to do.
distract
I know
it.
what you're trying to do. You're trying to frantically. I can hear the sound of the. Is that the sound of a barrel? Somebody's already broken
being
through the
scraped,
bottom of the
yeah.
barrel and they're scraping on the ground
Yeah, of
under the
course.
barrel.
Gotta
You're
try
trying
it.
to turn. I think you can conjure some flame in the face of this creature. Yes. Okay.
causing it to
Causing
be
it to
distracted.
immediately drop you and flee. No. What it's going to do is, I think. Okay. Well. Okay.
Right,
It
but
might
not
distract
enough
it
to
a little.
remove the restraint.
Well, not now, because it's
Okay.
your turn,
Right.
Parker. Here we go. It doesn't matter
Right.
because you're going to roll the number you need. I know what number you need.
I'm going to roll
The
a
number you
17, 19 in total.
You are no longer paralysed.
Hallelujah.
Right, Bugraft, what do you want to do?
Right, are either of these Harples
Aretha Franklin.
wounded?
No, neither of them seem to be wounded. At least not.
Okay, I'm attacking one of the Nagas. Right, so roll a...
The Nog. Oh, yeah, sorry, Harples. Yep, got it.
19?
It's a hit. It's a hit, yep.
Okay, and I do
Do you mind which one it is? I pick one, yeah?
the one to the west.
Yeah, got it.
So I do 8 plus 6 is 14 points damage.
Okay, that's a solid thump. It looks unwell, or maybe bloodied. Don't want to overdo it, but it's in that sort of territory. Purple herpish. He's the purpish with the purple herps.
I'm going to do Dissonant Whispers. Can I have a wisdom save on the snake DC 14, please? Fail this one,
give it a
please.
shot.
Can you fail
it doesn't
this
have
one,
any
please?
wisdom.
Fail.
It fails. It fails.
Fails. Right. Okay. So it first of all takes 3d6 point of damage.
Yes.
God, 5. I just keep rolling bloody ones. Okay, 5 points of damage, but it has to use its reaction to run away.
Yes, I understand. I understand absolutely. Which it does with Parker. No, I think
The thought had occurred.
just
That if he was dead, that he would have considered to have swallowed.
Yeah, it just starts rolling. It just starts rolling away. No. Okay, so it. Let me just make sure that snakes are not, but they aren't, are they? No. Okay. It kind of. I think the most logical thing is that it would just drop or uncoil from Parker. Yes.
Yep.
And has it got to head away from you?
Yes. It has to use its reaction
to move directly away from you.
I'll read it exactly. If available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Fine. Okay. Well, that's what it will do. And its speed with its reaction is a single move, correct? It drops Parker and it moves south away from you to the extent of its move, which is about 30 feet.
Oh, it's moved 6, is it?
Well, that's its move. Yep. Is that right? Have I got that right?
It's not affected by the difficult ground.
It's not affected by the difficult ground, no.
Got it.
And Parker, unsupported, falls paralysed into the water.
Paralysed.
No, I know.
And it's a one hit
Parker is free from the snake. Very, very good round from Burple.
I haven't moved yet.
Okay, well then off you go.
I will. Oops, that's the wrong thing. I will then move to just 2 squares, kind of south around that
so
harple.
staying in touch with the harple.
Staying in touch with that harple, but
to avoid
within a move of Parker.
I understand.
And
yes,
I
get it.
I will call to Parker to move to me.
Move to me, Parker. Move to me. Sessions.
Okay. I shall waddle slightly to the west.
Waddle to the west.
Waddle.
Here comes the cavalry.
Yeah, if I could find me little piece.
Ooh, is that appropriate at this moment?
Mm-hmm. Anyhow, I'm 3 squares to the west.
So you're heading west a few squares. Yep.
Yeah.
You're heading west about 15 feet. Yep.
Yeah, that's my move. Then as a bonus action, I will waft my alternate self next to Parker.
Yes.
30 feet, so that should move him right next to him. And then I will cure wounds on Parker.
Very nice. From the aspect. Yeah.
From the aspect.
Does Lucas want to roll this, or are you going to roll it?
I will I will cure wounds on you at 2nd level, so that's 2d8 plus...
You roll it, and I will be grateful for whatever you get.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. 10.
I'm not that grateful.
Well, excellent.
No, it's good. 10 hit points is
great.
Better than a poke in the eye with a
sharp
stick.
Burnt stick.
Yeah, muddy pole. And we move on back into the lair of the Lizardfolk, and with Cuthbert. Cuthbert, you're at another decision point. You found this chamber to the north, which has got these sleeping lizardfolk in it, and one who seems to be afflicted by some kind of worm-based nastiness. You've left them, and then you're now heading east down a new passageway. You feel like Cuthbert that you're near. You're kind of. You've only got a sort of, what's the word? An estimated sense of the size of this structure, but you think you're sort of quite deep into it now.
Yes. I'm a scout, but I'm not going to go and...
I think the technical term is a probe, isn't it?
Now.
Yep. We've inserted a probe
into the tunnel.
opening.
Probe one.
Yep.
I think I'm going to head back and start investigating the bird dropping area. So I'm going to move again another 15 back around the tunnel.
Yeah. Can you make us? I have been remiss in making you make stealth checks.
Yes.
But now I've remembered. So can you give me a stealth check at advantage just to cover this bit of movement?
Yeah. So the first stealth check's 15, and the second stealth check is 18.
Fine. I mean, basically, it's an audio stealth check, right?
Yes.
Because you're invisible. So okay, and smell, because your senses or your instinct is that lizardfolk, that they are proficient smellers, whatever that is.
However,
anyway,
we hope that they can smell green worms.
Well, you don't know about that bit. Anyway, so you're heading back the way you came.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's
all.
it.
You're done.
That's it. I'm done.
Wow, that was super quick from Cuthbert. Okay, moving back to the swamp. And we pick up the action with the creatures, the bad creatures. Now, stuff is about to happen. So, the first thing that's going to happen in terms of bad creatures is there are 2 harples on Bugraft. The first harple attacking Bugraft with a claw rolls an 8 for an 11, which is a miss, and rolls a 1. The second harple rolls an 18 for a 21 with a claw. Yeah, not laughing now, are you? Doing 2d4 plus 1 with the claw. 2d4 plus 1. Doing a total of 6 points of damage.
Okay,
and
so
then the club, attack is a 2, so that's a miss.
You're rolling rubbish.
Hopeless.
Now,
Now, let's deal with this snake. What is it going to do?
Isn't it still under the...
It's not, well, it might do burn. It's going to try and hit you and do 20 Punkte Arm. But no, I'm going to make a roll. Here we go. Let's have a look here. What number am I getting? 13. The snake is off. Yeah, the snake is going. The snake's an animal. It's not in thrall to anybody. I don't think it's been spooked, and I think the logic is for the snake to go. So the snake is going to slither off into the dark, away from Parker and the source of its fear, and
you thought
all of
you'd
that.
just save me from uncertain death.
No, I haven't saved you from uncertain anything. You could make somebody could make an intelligence check or an insight check, an intelligence check, or a survival check, or somebody could.
So
okay. Well, you're not quite sure.
Whatever it is.
Let's not peer too deeply into the mind of this reptile, Lucas. But for some reason, freed of easy prey and potentially free of something else, and spooked by forces unknown, it's decided that it's really just a swamp creature, and it's not bothered. Yeah. Now, Burple is being attacked by a harple or burple. It rolls with the claw, it rolls a 3, which is not going to be enough. It's going to be a 6. And with the club, it rolls a 14, which is armor class 17.
17 is a miss. I'm armor class 18.
Dan, I tell you what would be really great.
Yeah.
If you could say that all over again without something in your mouth.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so 17 is a miss. I'm armor class 18.
It's so unforced and natural. That's the thing.
That's the way to do it.
That's
a miss. A miss. I'm armor class 18.
That's what 6 months at Juilliard gets you. Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40.
I'm gonna live forever.
I'm gonna learn how to fly. Talking of things that learn how to fly.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What a terrible segue.
I have maybe not great news. It's all a question of perspective. From the tree next to Burple, the form that Burple identified in the tree, before, when he was first attacked, launches itself into the air. It is
a flying squirrel.
A harple of sorts, but it's sort of slightly more sinewy, slightly more...
It's a boss harple. A
siren. It's the one...
It's like a... Siren harple. I think Boss Harple is a great... Boss Harple sounds like a character from the Dukes of Hazzard. But yes, Boss Harple is is a good phrase, or a good term. It launches itself into the air, but not at you, Burple.
Only so it can sing.
No, it just books it out of there, heading directly south towards where you think Cuthbert went. And it really shifts. when it gets going. It's not long before it's fled your field of vision, Burple, even with your light spell.
Wow.
It flashes through the little dome of light that you've created with your light spell around Parker. And it sort of zooms off to the south, and it is screeching. If we might just quickly zoom back to the lair and Cuthbert.
Oh, great.
Cuthbert, you're heading along this little passageway, padding back towards the passageway where you thought you saw what looked like bird droppings.
Do you mean like bird droppings?
Bird droppings?
Did you mean bird droppings? Not bird droppings, but bird droppings? The smallest
This
things.
week on Springwatch. Yeah, the funniest things. Anyway, Cuthbert,
Yes.
from that direction, you hear a kerfuffle. Yes, there's no pretense at quietness or anything. But directly down that passageway where you saw the bird droppings,
Bird droppings.
from down there, you hear a kind of crashing sound. You hear screeching. You hear wing beats.
Yes.
And you hear a crashing sound. And from your north, as this sound kind of rattles through the lair,
Mm-hmm.
from your north, you hear kind of confused sounds. I'm sorry. Hello? Did somebody... what was that? I beg your pardon? What was this? I said, oh my goodness! And you hear shouts. This screeching seems to be meaning something to the locals that it's not meaning to you. Yeah. And from behind you, the passageway that you've just abandoned with the staircase behind you, you hear a voice go, an intruder! There must be an intruder! And we'll pick it up next time.
Oh, you little shit.
No, we won't pick it up next time. We'll pick it up now.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. Encounter at Blackwall Keep and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. Encounter at Blackwall Keep was written by Sean K. Reynolds. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening.